Hi, I'm Bob Nelson.
What's going on here? Oh, let's try that again.
Hi, I'm Tracey White.
Hi, I'm Bob Nelson.
I am not participating in this coup.
I'm just some guy. I happen to walk in here.
We start again. Ready? Go.
I'm Morey White.
I'm Bob Nelson.
I'm Tracey White.
And I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is, once again, what's this thing called? Oh, the Compass Conversation Podcast. We're back.
It's been that long.
Well, I can see now. You missed one time.
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus. These things is not like the other.
I missed just one.
You missed the big swig.
Well, we all missed last
I was
week.
in the big swig.
Oh, that's right, you were.
You were in the big swing.
No, not this particular big swig.
Not this particular.
Tonight's big swig.
This is the biggest swig.
It's a swig. Biggish. It's sort of a biggish
Swig.
swigish.
Bigger swing.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, it's been a while, and we had some technical problems on the last one, so it didn't even get out. So it's been a bit, but this is the first podcast of the new year.
The
So
last one was
Happy
my fault, and I'm
2021.
really sorry.
nobody knows. Nobody had to know that.
Oh, well, they know now.
Now we know.
It was Johnny's fault, and he's really sorry.
I'll take that. Sure. Why
It
not?
was really Bob's fault.
Since I'm totally not a techie guy, I'm okay with that.
He's okay with that too.
I was in quarantine,
Oh,
so
that's true. You were.
it was my fault.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's go ahead and get started here. We'll go around the table, see how everybody's doing. Let's start
Right.
with you, sir. And you look thin.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're looking good.
Lost about 30 pounds.
Oh,
Wow,
pretty
dude.
stoked about
Fantastic,
that.
dude.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
Working on it. Working on
Cheers,
it.
bro. Cheers, bro.
So, got hired and fired in the same day.
Other way around.
Say it the
No, it really happened that way.
I thought it's fired and hired.
Does that mean you get you get double pay for that little
Yeah, I
time?
was just
I
thinking
wish.
the same thing.
Explain this to all.
I've been working as a contractor, and I was hired as a full-time employee. So that's a
Oh, I see.
wonderful thing, and happy camper. This weekend we had a good time. Went to Georgetown, saw some vehicles, mostly Jeep Willys, racing on the ice.
Nice.
And so my knee is hurting a little bit from walking on the ice. You don't realize.
Oh, no cushion there.
It's not just the walking. It's you're
balance.
you're constantly trying to keep
yeah.
balance. So you're using muscles that you don't normally use. And so my knees are.
But
one
no
of my
slipping.
knees is tearing me up.
You didn't fall.
Did not fall.
There was no ramp.
I was about to say, you worked that out on the ramp a couple of months ago, right?
You know,
Never.
Now you have super balance on ice.
I don't even know why I tried.
It was awesome. That's an awesome thing to be
Yes, it
coming back up every night.
Yeah, I had a good time hanging with my wife, and that's always fun.
Yeah.
That's good.
The pictures are cool too, so
Yeah.
very fun.
I actually ate some decent food.
That's good.
Right.
Actually, I do eat decent food anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know.
You just got more of it this weekend.
No, not really.
did.
I had a plate that with leftovers on it,
that's
so that's unusual for me.
That's awesome.
That's a hard thing to do.
It is.
Mom would be
Especially when it's
disappointed.
there.
Mom would be very disappointed. Sorry, Mom.
Pick your plate. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. How are you doing, Bob?
Yeah, pretty good. And, glad it's 2021, even though 2020 was a pretty decent year for me. Yeah. So at the end, to keep you up with the running saga, I decided to start 2021 with a 9.3 mile run.
9.3.
9.3 miles.
Nice.
15K. So
Sweet.
Okay.
10-minute mile, basically, or 9-minute mile on that, actually. Wait, no, hold on. No, 10-minute mile. My last run was 9 minutes, so it was
Oh,
a little
yeah.
shorter.
10-minute mile is great.
It's still, I'm fine with it.
Ay, ay, ay.
You should come and pace me. I need about an 8-minute mile.
8
That's
minute?
what I normally.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta pace me.
We could probably do that.
Only for a mile and a half, though.
I can do that. I can do it for that long.
Yeah. Good.
So, but yeah, no, things are going
I
really
can
well.
watch.
So, and let's see, no, we already did the graduation. Trying to think if there's anything else. No, that's about it.
All right.
So,
Very good.
yeah.
Tracy. All right.
Blessed, brain fried, and very tired. But it was a drill weekend this weekend, and it was a really good weekend. Very busy, but that's okay. You know, Kathy went with me. She was able to get away for the weekend and just relax in the hotel room while her sister watched after mom. And then today, of course, we're back to the normal grind. And as Mondays normally are in my normal job, it was just busy all day. And so with that, I just want to say, forgive me, Pastor, for I have sinned.
Oh, no.
I have not watched yesterday's service yet.
That's it. You've heard it before.
That's not cool.
Ooh, that's not cool. Well, kind of on a different level.
On a different level.
Apart from the content of the message, I'm sad you missed it because I did some different things Sunday.
I will get to it. I just wasn't. I was very. It was a very busy day today.
It's all good.
I will share more with you after the podcast.
It's all good. No problem.
How about you, Johnny?
Hey, well,
Back to school.
Went back to school.
yeah, back to school. That's true. But before that, Leo and I got out of town for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Because she was unable to go to Tennessee, so we just kind of came out and said, you know what, let's get out of town. And we've been chewing on the idea of segment hiking the Colorado Trail, right? It goes from about Littleton to Durango. Just under 500 miles. If we were to do the whole thing, it would take a little over a month. So we're not doing that. So, but yeah, I got the end in mind. Went down, so we took pictures or whatever by the end of the trail. You know, so this is what it'll look like if we end up doing it.
Nice.
You know, it's that kind of get a picture of where we're going, right? So that was really fun. And we had some really strange weather going over that mountain as well. And that's typical for Colorado, right? These things come out of nowhere. So I posted a little video, Leona's video, and I'm just, trying to, because it was like a little mini blizzard that kind of blew through. And we could see a black Jeep that was just past this wall ahead of us, not that far.
Yeah.
So everything's fine. And then it gets just like somebody's blowing sugar across and then we couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And I was down to 10 miles an hour and then almost to a complete stop. It's like couldn't see the road,
Hoping
couldn't
nobody's
see
coming up behind
anything.
you.
Yeah, and there was, so I had the hazards on, and yeah, it was kind of freaky, but it was only for about 20 minutes or so of that.
Still.
Then it was sunshine.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That's Colorado.
Well, it's like all those old, there's so many movies where you have a big wall, big cloud, and somebody's coming out of it or it's coming towards them. It was like that. We pulled out of it and looked back, and it was just like this big giant wall of cotton behind us.
Wow, that's cool.
But anyway, so that was fun. Then we got through the weekend, and I somehow, this is the thing that's frustrating, is that we're talking about doing all this hiking, but I also have, this is like an old man problem because it is, but I have this bunion on my left foot. Where your bone kind of goes out that way. When I was a kid, I used to think a bunion was like some kind of sore or something. That's not your bone that sticks out right there by that big toe.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that really flared up Saturday night. I was feeling it a little bit Sunday morning. And then last night, I'd taken some ibuprofen. This is a long update. But anyway.
It's been a couple weeks.
And this is just for the last few days.
Yeah.
So imagine all you missed in the past few days. Right. So last night we ordered some food, right? We haven't done that in a long, long time. Had it delivered, DoorDash kind of thing, from Chili's of all things.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, so I had it was like a bacon burger. I say because the bun was here, but the meat came out. I was like, this is much bigger than I thought. It looked like a flying saucer. and it had bacon.
I'm not seeing anything wrong with this.
I know.
Well,
I'm good with that.
yeah, it was delicious. So I was just eating. We had some chips and hot sauce, and we had the fries there. We were watching like Andy Griffith's show. We brought our daughter in to sit with us, which doesn't always happen very often. And so I'm just eating, and I don't know what was going on. Speaking of confession time, it was like it suddenly became the night of the glutton. I mean, it was like da da da. I just when you're not really thinking and you're just eating. I don't think I can eat all that. So then it hits you,
Yes.
I felt like I had to be rolled into my bed. Then it was so bad. And so all night, last night, the reason I told you all that is because my foot was killing me all night. And I was pretty sure I was going to throw up about every hour throughout the night. And I was really frustrated because this is not like some mysterious ailment.
Right.
I did this to myself. What am I doing? I could have probably been okay with just the foot. And then, so without much sleep, yes, back to the school today I was.
Oh, that's
So I'm
tough.
really kind of dragging. I know it sounds a little animated as I'm telling you this story, but I think that may be all I got in me. So anyhow,
That was pretty good.
Good night.
that was my story. Well, okay, guys. So what do you guys want to talk about? Sunday? Or?
We could talk about Sunday. I was screaming at the TV because I had it going up on the TV,
Oh, yeah.
so I'm streaming it through the TV. When you ask the question,
What's the
what do we
strangest
do?
Oh, that's right. You were screaming, but I couldn't hear you.
I screamed, follow Jesus! Follow Jesus! And Julie typed, follow
It
Jesus!
did seem to take a long time. Yeah, Julie, follow Jesus, please.
That's how you act when you're watching football.
Well, I like that you're shouting, follow Jesus, instead of cursing at the tender or something. That's funny. Yeah, I was thinking it was taking a little long. Basically, as said Tracy, we were beginning to go back over our values and who we are. So the basic question was, Compass Church, what are we all about? Compass Church is all about
Following Jesus.
Following Jesus.
And
following Jesus and
helping
living
leading others
to
everyone
Yeah, passionate, right. In Him.
in Christ.
Christ,
Okay,
yes.
you got the idea.
Yes.
This is the verbiage that we get. So yeah,
more
so
closer, stronger, more closer, stronger.
closer.
Wait, that's the other question.
That's the how we do
Haven't got
it.
there yet.
That's right. And that's right. Because I was kind of happy, honestly, because a lot of pastors, they'll say something about a vision or a mission statement or something like that. And it's just something that's written and filed away somewhere or on a board. And if they were to pause and ask their church, okay, church, what are we about? You get like 500 different answers depending on the size of your church, of course.
And none of them will be the vision.
And none of them
nor
be
the
exactly
mission.
right. They may all be kind of right, but they're not a focused statement of really what you're about. So I was happy actually when people start saying more, stronger, closer, more, faster, stronger. No, wait, no. So they were on it, and we started that. So we started talking about that's all about following Jesus, leading everyone to a passionate life in Christ, and then developing more stronger and closer followers
Yes.
of Christ. So we started that Sunday.
Very good.
Yeah, it was fun.
So I was saying, you've heard it.
So that part you actually have heard.
I haven't heard that part.
Technical question. The sound was really good. Normally we've got to crank up the volume pretty good, but it was like normal levels. So
Yeah.
what did you do?
Okay, well, that's why I was wanting to talk to you about what I did. That's all right. You'll see.
We started rolling before you got to that.
It could have been better, actually. So that's the good news.
Okay.
Did you have any clipping or buzz or anything watching
Nope.
it on the TV?
No buzz or clipping.
Did it sound flat?
It did that.
It
Yeah.
was a little flat.
Sound canny.
A little bit canny. Uncanny, you might say.
No, it was canny.
Oh, it was canny.
You might say that, but it was candy.
Very canny, not uncanny at all. But, okay, so what I did instead of, usually I'll use like my iPhone, so that's always a challenge anyway. And then with a boom mic that goes into
Yes.
it. But the boom mic that goes into it is iffy.
Oh,
You know,
no.
sometimes it kind of works, sometimes it does. Like when we did church in the park, and it would work a little, but it wouldn't, and it was better without it.
Yeah.
So this time I ran it through my computer instead and used the what's the...
OBS?
Yeah, OBS. So I used OBS.
Oh, that's great.
And used a filter inside the thing to boost the gain a little bit.
Yeah.
Do we have another one of those webcams? I'm talking technical
I know,
stuff.
we're
We're
already
not
into the weeds technically.
filming.
Yeah.
If we've got another one of those cameras, they're great. Those webcams.
Yeah,
So,
well,
That'll go straight in OBS.
Yeah.
well, the picture I think was okay, but it was the sound, and so that sound was only. This is embarrassing to say, but it was only my laptop, the mic. That was it. So I knew it was going to be kind of, but I didn't have time to get anything else. So really, the fix for that is a simple, a better.
Then I have some feedback for you when we're offline. So
well, I started watching. It was really interesting because, that time, and I'm watching the countdown. I watched the entire countdown and started talking, and it was from here in the studio, and Johnny was there, and Leona was there, and you were there. And I'm like,
what did I miss?
I've seen this before.
you were on the prior week's.
That is awesome. Well, that's partly because when we were live, and because I was running it through my computer, I accidentally, thank you, Bob, that message was streaming from my personal account.
Yes, Julie saw that
Instead of the
too.
church account.
Johnny Leckie was live. And
Johnny was live.
Julie said that she's like, this is weird.
And it was indeed weird. Fortunately, I was able to fix it really fast. I had to grab a whole new, stream key and all that stuff.
Yeah. I do have a real quick question though, real quick, because I was here. I didn't rewatch the week before, and so I don't know if it sounded okay or not.
Oh, I thought it sounded great in here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one was rough.
Good.
I really enjoyed that, by the way.
It was great. I did too.
You were sitting there. You had the cajon. Leona was sitting right there.
Yeah.
There was something very kind of
it was back
kind
to
of
base
warm.
camp.
It was it was a base camp vibe. It felt really good. I liked that.
I thought that was. I liked it too.
So
we should do it.
I
again.
dragged Leona up to be with me this week too.
Can I come, Joy?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you should.
Yeah, he come over to the house, or we come back here again next week.
Let's do it here.
But it was great. The sermon this week, you got to watch it because it was great. It's it reminds me. I was telling Julie, it's a whole lot like football. Yeah, I'm going to say football. Coaches always say we got to get back to basics.
Back to the basics.
And and you get the basics of why it is we do what we do and we live the way that we live.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you get that, and whenever that's reinforced, all the extra stuff that you do, it all comes into focus.
It's like playing the drums.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you start, you got to have
That's a better
meat and
analogy.
potatoes keeping time.
Yeah.
That's the essence of drums. All the extra stuff is the nice flourish as it gets bigger and better.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the time right,
It's just noise.
it's just clanging cymbal.
Which is why I'm a clanging cymbal.
But he plays it with love.
Play with the love.
That's the and that's kind of the core of a lot of things. Even though I didn't see the service from yesterday, I am still able to.
That meant correct.
Even your phone disagrees with you.
Oh my goodness!
We've added sound effects.
Oh man.
Even when I'm on drill weekend, I always
need to do
seem to find myself in a position to where I get to talk about that kind of thing.
Oh
That
yeah.
spiritual foundation, that love that we show people. Yeah, I was talking to you about talking to the chaplains, but I was talking to one of my fellow airmen, and was able to say to talk to the love about it. I thought I had upset somebody in something that I said, and so I was asking this other person for advice, and I said I don't. It doesn't matter if I disagree. I still love this person, and I want to make sure that we're okay. What do you think? So it was kind of that sort of thing, and I'm hoping that's the kind of just overflow of whatever, something that people read into, and they're like, oh, that guy must be a Christian.
That's awesome.
I want people to know we are Christians by our love.
There's a song in there somewhere.
Yes. And then I do have another story about the weekend, but I'll tell it after.
So you didn't
we're
hear
done.
the message. You were busy living the message.
Well,
Oh,
I hope so.
That was awesome, brother.
I hope so.
That was good. I'm glad you.
You the man.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, well, I'll say this
Covered
as an
for him.
aside. As an aside, this little conversation has reminded me that the very first pilot episode of this podcast, we actually did in the room in there. You guys remember? But here's the thing about that:
Oh,
we were talking about More, Stronger, Closer,
that's right.
We were.
and you had missed the service for the same reason. You were through a weekend.
Look, I only
It
got.
just all came back to me.
I counted it. I got 2 years and 4 months left, and then they're like, "Thank you for your service." I can't go beyond that. So
All right, I'm sorry.
it's a long road.
You've gone around the world. Bob, have you anything you'd like to say tonight? Or just
So it's wrongly attributed from St. Francis of Assisi, but there's this saying that works out pretty well about what you're talking about, and it's the you are the only Bible that some people will ever read.
Ooh,
Oh.
That's true. Yeah.
It's
Okay, so who really
That's-
said it?
I had no idea.
No idea.
that's a good point, though.
Just wasn't Assisi.
I think he said something along the lines of live out the gospel and, if necessary, use words.
Also attributed to him, probably
But
not his
probably
words.
not. That's the one I'm pulling up.
Even that
Yeah.
one is cool.
It is true. But I would even counter that phrase by saying that it's important to use words. Or otherwise people will think they're a really cool guy. I wonder what it is about them. And if we never tell them,
Well,
Yeah.
that's true.
but our actions, our life need to back up our words. It's probably a better way of.
And
That's
well, that's true. And I also think that your actions open the doors, because I really
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
in today's age, it is a little counter to how people normally act if we're acting the way God wants us to act all the time. And a lot of times that somebody will be like, "Man, how do you do that?" Or "Why doesn't that bother you so much?" Or "How do you get through the day?" With it. And you're like, "Well, let me tell you."
Yeah, let me tell you.
But that's
You
very
know?
true. Yeah, it is so different from the way most people live their lives. But it does stand out for sure.
Yeah. How many times have you ever said, "I disagree with him, but I love him"? I've never heard that anywhere else but here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
or seen it in the Bible. So that's
My boss and I have had that discussion several times about that we disagree on certain things, but that'll never change the fact that I love him, and we are friends, and that's not going to change. And it's something that he truly appreciates, and I think speaks volumes
Yeah.
to the rest of the team. We did an interview today, and the interviewee, he had a hard time understanding how we had such a great relationship on our team. And it is that there are several of us that are willing to show that kind of love. And we show that love because God shows us that love. And John 3:16, God loved the world so much that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life.
Amen, brother.
So,
Amen, bro.
and that was flat out showing,
Yeah.
You know what?
not just talking about it,
Yeah.
showing it. All right, and talking.
There's talking
Thank
and
you,
there's
man.
doing.
I was gonna say there should be a moment in the podcast where you go, "Lights, please," and then the spotlight comes on. You're like Linus.
We could
You're
totally
like Linus
do that.
on the stage when you do John 3:16, and then it
Next time.
We have
would
the
be great.
technology.
John 3:16.
I gotta bring all the lights back in here though and hang them back up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We do have the ones in the back row still, but we need all the other ones.
Well, anyway, so we to go back to what we were talking about Sunday. We go back to. You have to go back
Yes.
and say this is what we're about. We got to remember what we're about, because it's so easy to just start adding up stuff. It's like, well, what do churches do? Well, we should. Well, that church is doing this, and that church is, and don't churches sometimes do? And then suddenly we've got this. Not like a strong river with banks that are keeping it strong, but it becomes this sort of swamp. of activity. And suddenly we're no longer focusing on what's most important and why we're here at all and why we're together. So anyway, following Jesus and leading everyone. That part's so important. Lead everyone.
It is.
Which leads right into more, which is what we started to talk about.
That's right.
But I wasted a
To
good
be
5 to 10 minutes trying to get the technical thing to.
Oh, well, that's okay. Well, at least I get to pick up.
I was prepared.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll just wait until like Saturday evening, and then I'll watch
See where
this
it
week's,
picks up.
and then right when you roll into Sunday morning, I can make sure that you're picking up where you left off.
Sort of like Netflix.
Oh.
You're
Yeah.
watching something and it just goes to the next
Yeah, you
episode.
know what? If we stream from here, and you're not, I'll be like, oh, time out, Johnny. No,
Cut.
Start over. No,
Beep.
I would never do that.
Oh, well, here's what was great about being
Have a
able to
buzzer.
use that software, and I've been wanting to do it. I just never got around to doing it because I kept thinking I was going to have another hassle making it happen quick, but it's so easy.
It is.
So I didn't even spend a whole lot of time in prep, but I was able to show a video near the end,
Yep.
right in the middle, and it was one that worked perfectly with what I was talking about, but it was from like 2 years ago. And it was one of those quick clips I used to post all the time. And also I had a picture screen that that was actually also from like 2019 sometime, of you and Taylor and Melissa's on there, and they're all just standing.
Yes.
It said starting soon or something like that.
Nice.
So it was just kind of fun to throw those in, but it also opens up kind of that. There are a million things we could do. Wait, don't want to overdo this.
Don't overdo it.
Do your lower
Oh.
thirds, Pastor Johnny Leckie,
Yeah,
compassdenver.com. And,
Could have done it. Just
Yeah.
didn't. But there's this point too. There's something different about our base camp gatherings that's kind of fresh and unpresumptuous. I have some friends. And I used to do this too. I'll you know what? Forget my friends. I'll say me. Back in Texas. We had a very small group initially, but we had all of this stuff. We had the band
that's
and the
funny.
big screens, and all, but there was hardly anybody. There's probably more people on the stage than were.
That's funny.
It was just overkill for the room and for everything.
Yeah.
And it seemed kind of presumptuous, like we were kidding ourselves a little. We wanted to do quality, but tastefully done within our context.
But
I was going to say that's actually the key to making the vision and the mission work is context. It's like, how are you doing? How are you, demonstrating that you're following Jesus, and so you can lead people to have a passionate life with Him around you, and then work on them more stronger and closer. So if you don't do that in your own context, then how's it going to fit anywhere else?
yeah.
We're going to have a great conversation on Saturday, by the way.
You,
Because there are some things about this, too, that we always talk about replicable kinds of things.
Yep.
Can you do this, and can you do it again over here? If we set up a huge, Star Search standard,
Yep.
then only these people can do this.
Yeah.
And if we want to reach into our communities and empower people to reach their neighbors and friends, if they're thinking, well, we've got to do the big. The great thing about what we're doing right now is that we still have the venue and opportunity, Big Sunday, to
Yep.
still make it big and grand.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it also says this isn't all we are.
Right.
Right.
So that's what I like.
I like
about it right
how we are genuine.
now. Yeah.
So genuine and approachable. So
It is
which-
real.
Yep. I think that's important for folks who are seeking, if they're intimidated just walking up, then they're going to be, I think I'm going to go somewhere else.
Well, today probably more than ever before, people see through the nonsense, right? They can spot the phony, they can spot the putting on airs. I always think about the movie White Christmas. Have you guys ever seen this?
Probably.
I love
Musical.
White Christmas. I love it.
Yeah, okay.
It's a great movie.
It is. There's the general in the movie,
Yes.
and there's this moment where he's retired, but he's wanting to go back into the military. So he sends this letter.
I can see that.
Yeah, and when he gives it, being sitting next to him there, he receives the letter. He goes, "Oh, it came today. Could you read it to me, son? I left my glasses or whatever." So Bing, goes, I'm kind of starting to play trombone myself, that kind of deal. He goes, then he starts reading, hey, how great it was to receive your amusing letter, da-da-da-da. and he's immediately beginning to realize, they don't want me. They don't want to mention me.
Yeah.
And he had just been making fun of the guys who were playing horseshoes. He goes, I'm not ready for that. I'm going back in the military. But after the letter, he's all dejected, and he goes, well, I wonder if it's very hard to learn this old game. And so Bing Crosby in the movie, he starts to go, well, sir, there's a lot to be said for leisure and whatever. And he goes, don't kid a kidder, son. I'll see you later. Never kid a kidder, son.
Yeah.
And it's that idea of don't patronize me. I see
Right.
through all of that.
Right.
Never kid a kidder. And I think most people today are kind of like that. We sometimes offer kind of simplistic Christian platitudes, simple band-aid answers when people have these gaping wounds. And we need to be real and tell the truth and realize that there is a great healer and there's an absolute answer, but not to give pat answers.
Right.
And who is Pat anyway?
I don't know. Ooh.
Yeah, why does he give such rotten answers?
Why gives such rotten answers?
We're at
you, Pat?
31.
Oh, it's time. Doggone it. Well, anywho. Well, all right. Anything guys want to say before we wrap up tonight's podcast? Back at it.
Sorry, I missed the thing
We missed you.
yesterday.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You're doing good work.
Yeah, you do.
How do you know? You don't know what I do out there.
You just told us.
I do. I'm proud of
You're
you.
doing God's work out there. That's what I mean.
I'm trying to do that too. Tell you a story when we're done.
Okay.
I feel that pain.
All right. Any final thoughts before we hit our final words?
Just read John 3:16 again and again.
Realize that it's about Him and about us.
That's right. Talking about going back to basics and why.
Mhm.
There you go.
Yep, John 3:16 and Matthew 28.
Yep.
Indeed. Talked a little of that Sunday too.
Mm-hmm.
Great Commission in all four Gospels and Acts in some way or form.
I just heard that on the radio coming back from Colorado Springs yesterday.
So you heard the sermon.
That dude must have listened to our message.
No,
on
it was a
Sunday.
guy with like an Australian accent or something. He was doing like the minute on I think
reach
we were listening to
Australia?
like way FM.
Hey!
And he talked about John 3:16 and the Great
The Great
Commission.
Commission,
So just
What was it they used to say?
Two
Go
minutes.
ye means go me.
Go me,
Yeah.
Go ye means go
Get
me.
the,
That was
get the hints.
is that still clicking?
Oh, we gotta rock
didn't
it.
run out, did we?
All right, okay. Well, hey, listen, you can join
still
us
running.
every Sunday. We gather online on Facebook, Compass Church Colorado, or you can discover more at compassdenver.com. We'd love to have you as our guest this Sunday at 10. All right, final words.
I really do love you guys. I really appreciate you so much. Thank you for being
too,
part of my
man.
life. Anyway, you have to. And I love everybody else out there. Yeah.
Super duper likewise.
nice. Peace, y'all.
Grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight, and we are out. Super duper.
Super duper. I like it.
Huh?
I like the super duper.
Super duper likewise back at you.